and then so I kind of talk about it a little bit. So yeah, so this is cool. It's been this chat is a little bit slow. I'm using, if you guys see this one, this is RCIC Ai demo night. So generally what happens is if you use a chat or a project, there's also projects in this, and you use it like extensively over 3 or 4 days, it fills up. So it's slow. So it's not like if I get a new chat, like I just try to just open a new chat and it's fast, but then you got to kind of put, get it, tell it what we're doing. Whereas, I've been working on this RCIC AI demo night for about a week, so it's a little slow. That's just one of the glitches. Normally, it's fast; it answers right away. But what you'll see is sometimes when I ask a question tonight, it will there'll be like a little dot that kind of flashes, and it's kind of like it's just telling me. It's kind of like buffering. It's going to give you the information, but I might have to actually like close out and then reopen the but it's just a glitch. It's just because there's a lot of information it has to go back through. It has to go through the entire history, and then it's so it's one of the little minor things that kind of it is annoying, but it works. It still works. So tonight we're actually talking about one of the things I've done is we started talking to people about who want to be landlords about tenancy and occupancy. So we put in some basically some methods on determining who lives in the house and who owns the house may be different. So it can tell people, especially if people are looking to buy rental properties, they can look and see if there's tenants, which makes it worthwhile, obviously, because the lender might be like, hey, well, we'll give you the loan, but we want it to be like 70% occupied. If it's under too much distress, we're not going to loan on it. So we put in these filters now, and people can there's a prompt. So for everything, there's a prompt, and I have that prompt in the files tab. I have PDFs for all of them. So when people prompt it, they can actually they can get the answers. Tenancy, who has the rights, owner or tenant, occupancy, who's physically there. Is it stable? Is it distressed? Or is nobody there? So it tells between an equity rescue, a landlord problem, or a vacant asset. You can move on aggressively. So we got a good system for it, and how it reads that in seconds, so it can look at it can look at it. What it'll do is it'll scan through like all the different VRBO, Airbnb to see if it's on any of those platforms as far as a property goes. So people can tell if they're using it as an Airbnb short-term rental, or if they're actually it could go through and maybe even find like ads like Craigslist ads and stuff like that showing that they've rented it out before, which they may not, the wholesaler may not be that honest in there. So it helps people like break through that veil. It's pretty cool. So we're putting a lot of that stuff in there. I put in a full suite now for transaction coordination, and I know Willie's happy about that. He's on a couple other people, a lot of other people are happy with that. So I've been loading it up with all kinds, building it out more. So it's pretty sweet. And it takes like somebody can actually onboard. Bill Dana Jealous actually onboarded it over the phone with me last week, and within 15 minutes he was fully operational, like literally building his buy box and all that stuff. It's pretty cool. So we got like we could do a property. We can actually put properties in live. And so we call enrich the property, meaning we're putting the property information in there. We're populating it. It's going to ask questions like, is the mailing address the same as the property? Is there a homestead exemption? Is this an owner on any rental landlord registry? Are there any eviction filings tied to this address? So it'll go through and look at if there's eviction filings on that. If it's in Jefferson County and Golden or Lakewood or Arvada, anywhere, it'll actually go through and see if there's been any evictions in that recently, because that could tell you right then it's a rental property if there's been evictions. It'll also talk about code complaints where the caller is clearly a tenant. And then actually the other Bill's coming on now too. So I'll plus a few guys on. Any vacancy indicators, USPS, utilities boarded, repeated at no access. Let me get him unmuted. Hey Bill, we got both Bills on tonight. It's good. And Willie. So you guys both on. if you guys can unmute, that'd be cool. If you guys got questions.
I'm staying muted so that it doesn't you don't pick up all
Okay, yeah,
that
no,
noise.
I'm trying to get see if because I want to hear because he was onboarding when I was on the phone with him last week. So it classifies as owner occupied, likely rental, confirmed rental, occupied and stable versus occupied and distressed, likely vacant and confirmed vacant. So I put this in this morning. It was in discussion last night on our open to the public Zoom. Somebody was asking about tenant, or actually Jamie Walt, who's in our been in our group for a couple of years. He was asking about that. How can you tell if it's occupied? But Jesse's coming on now too. So everybody's kind of getting here now, which is good. So yeah, it'll actually tell people like if it's occupied and it's it could talk about like if it's owner occupied, there's distress, it kind of gives you, soft touch, timing, equity options. If the tenant's paying, you're buying in cash flow with a human in it. So underwrite the lease, not the fantasy. Then it says tenant not paying an eviction, you're buying a problem. So it says price and timeline have to reflect that. So it's vacant. This is often your cleanest investor play, control, speed, and flexibility. So now with the tenancy, the PDF that goes over the tenancy prompts, it'll actually help people determine if the property is is a rental property or not, and if it's occupied or not, if there's been evictions or not. You don't have to listen to the seller. You can just put that prompt in there and then go through and it'll actually check that jurisdiction, because obviously if there's been evictions, it's going to be in the court and there's going to be a record of it. So they keep a record, unless some may purge them. I mean, I don't know if that's every case, but most likely if it's in trouble now, the eviction will probably still be in the public records. So you can actually determine that now. Say, Jesse, so we put a lot of stuff in for tenancy and rental properties for landlords to determine vacancy and occupancy. So I got that in today, and then I got all the TC stuff in. So it's kind of cool. So we're kind of blowing up that way. So we get
Nice.
mode, and so it can talk about who drives the files. So this is, and you
Ah,
guys can go into 3 modes now with the prompt bar. You can actually go and ask to put you in TC mode. You don't have to be TC. You can start going and do all your transaction coordination stuff yourself. But it'll run you through like as a transaction coordinator. You can be a full resident and just be out there looking for all the all the foreclosures, evictions, and all the everything, all the distressed properties, or be the operator. There's 3 modes, and so I have a PDF that explains that, and we'll actually go through the bottom. We'll actually go through it right now. So most of this you're wearing 3 hats. You're the resident, you're market operator, you're the buyer, a deal maker, and half the time you're the TC too. And we obviously have TCs like Willie and Michael and Cindy and myself and all that, people who can do transaction coordination. But we built a whole suite for transaction coordinators. So now it has a TC mode. So when you log in and you go through the prompt assistant, the red icon with the prompt bar, you can actually go into these 3. You can actually ask it which mode you want to go into, and it'll give you different. Now it'll give you different tracks. You don't have to stay in that mode. You can actually just go back to the default. But if you wanted to work on your transactions, or if you want to work on, it gives you 3 different options of different. So I didn't have to build 3 separate GPTs, which I didn't want to do. So it's one GPT with multiple modes for 3 modes. We can add modes. We can add a lender mode, and we can add a lot of modes if we need to. So it talks about that. So now you can run a TC cockpit yourself, or you can plug in your TC and let them run it inside your RCIC GPT. All of these TCs that we're bringing in, to actually, I've got like 5 or 6 that want to onboard. They'll be able to actually do everything that a TC does without having to go out and get a frame, or there's some software programs out there that are pretty pricey. So it's pretty cool. Like people can do almost everything. They can do everything. And what I'm finding is that RCIC is now pretty much unlimited, and you guys can add like whatever you guys want to your own. You can build out your own GPT and build out your own. And if it's something that really works for you and you just want to keep it to yourself, that's fine. If I'm hoping that everybody kind of like, hey, if they build something cool, like somebody's out there looking to buy like, I don't know, Subway sandwich restaurants or something. If they want to go out there and do that, they could create something for finding restaurants or finding commercial businesses and stuff. then if you guys do something cool, then I'm just hoping, you bring it so we can build it for everybody. But you can build it any way you want. This is pretty much unlimited now. Most of the AI people out there doing real estate that I'm seeing now, because I do check them when I see people come across and say they're using AI, they're only doing one or two things. It's just like PropStream and Deal Machine. And I believe now we've had 7 people actually quit either PropStream, Deal Machine, Investor Lift, or one of the batch leads, like literally because they're able to use RCIC for everything. Like I was just telling Bill before you guys, Suggesty and Bill Danajolis and Willie, there's 6,000 pre-foreclosure properties available right now in Columbus, Ohio. So there's a lot, and we're pulling thousands. We can pull thousands and thousands of properties now and leads and all that. Sorry, I'm trying to. So if you guys have any questions about that, but you can get the PDF that actually adds that to your buy boxes and all that, to your markets if you want to go out there and look at all these properties. Some of it's even just good to go out there and just get a lot of stuff to look at to put into your system so you can train your system. Even if you're not going to do anything in Columbus, Ohio, there's a ton of opportunity to go pick up. It doesn't take very much, like 10-15 minutes to go pick up like 10 or 15 of these NEDs, these notice of election demand, in these forms, these documents that the counties give you. Go put them in your system and have it start analyzing them. So you train your system. So you're not just training on yours. By the time then you've got yours that are in your markets, your system is fully developed and it's fully trained. So use some of these advantages when I'm putting out these ones, even in these groups, these territories or areas or markets where you guys aren't at. Just use it for training purposes to train your AI. Because if you put 50 or 60 in there, it's going to analyze them and it's going to train it, and you train it to your buy box, and you don't have to go through offers and the lenders and all that stuff. But if you're not, while you're ramping up and getting your market set up using the PDFs and using the onboarding, go ahead and put some extra properties in there around the country so you guys can just train up your system. It's pretty easy to do that. I've put almost 100 properties in mine just to kind of train it. And it doesn't take, I think, probably 100 properties. It's probably taken me an hour over the last like 2 or 3 weeks total. So it doesn't take very much to do that. You just go get the PDF and then you from the county, and then you put it here with add files and more. It's pretty sweet that way. So you can switch to TC mode, and you can go out and it's open as a case. So you get a case, and that's how it starts tracking the transaction coordination of that property, of that deal. Then it'll actually automate and pick up your deadlines. It'll automatically add the deadlines. It'll put all your documents together, help you put all the tasks together and status updates. So if you got a closing in 3 weeks or something like that, you can build your whole thing around. You can have an update you. So every day you get something in your inbox telling you what you got to go and do that day for that closing. It's pretty sweet that way. And so in TC mode, the whole world is a case table. So now there's a case table, and basically we'll have, if anybody wants to put their Dropbox and they're connected to it, you can connect your Dropbox. You can actually connect Zapier, and you can automate it, and you can connect Airtable like I've been talking about for the last couple of months. It's pretty sweet. So when you get into transaction coordination mode, so you got the 4 commands. So show me my day. It's going to prioritize the cases and your deadlines. Read this like a TC. You can upload contracts, the meds, notices, code letters, get summaries and deadlines. Then you can create a file from the signal. This is all in a PDF as well, that you guys can download, and then you can put in your system. And then it'll pop these questions up every time you do something. You activate TC mode. If you have that PDF and you enter it here, and it'll actually keep it and reference it. It's really good now. It's really getting to the point where people can just fly through this stuff. Generate my plan, 10 to 14 day checklist based on your strategy. Create a file from the signal, turn a NED code auction signal into a case now. Then you can hit the positioning. So the point is, resident mode finds the deal. The tenancy and occupancy tells you what kind of situation it is. And the TC mode makes sure nothing in that file falls through the cracks from first contact to closing or surplus. It's pretty sweet. There's something called surplus and overbid funds too. I'll start getting into. I've got a few states. It's a program where, like, if there's surplus funds or overbid, or a lender has bid, let's say it's in foreclosure for $300,000, but somebody pays 315. Well, the lender gets paid the 300,000, right? Because that's what they're owed. What happens to the 15 grand? In some states, like in Colorado, it actually goes to the state treasurer's office. If you are the person that's foreclosed on, you can actually claim that money. If you don't claim it within 6 months, then if you're the buyer and you haven't flipped it, if you can go claim the money. And every state is different though, so that's why I'm not going really hog wild and promoting it right now. Probably the next week I'll have all 50 states, and I'll actually be able to give everybody the actual for their state and how the surplus and overbids works. So there's some extra money out there that nobody's talking about this. I didn't know about this. I just found this out like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Just in all amount of the time. This thing is just incredible. Almost every day that I'm in it, which is every day pretty much now, I am literally blowing it. It's literally getting better, stronger, faster, more intelligent, and it's a benefit to you guys. And you guys start using your own. Get your own RCIC. I know Bill Johnson, jealous you have yours. Bill Johnson, do you have yours yet? Because I can send you that onboarding kit if you need it.
No, I need it.
Okay, I'll send that to you over because I just revised it. And then, like
Okay.
I said, I can help you build a buy box. You're entitled, and then you already have it. All you got to do is get the GPT-5 with the $20 a month subscription from OpenAI, and then you go and you put it into the prompt bar, and then you basically will get the prompt assistant, which is over here in the left. And I'll pull that up at the end because, like I said, I'm in a chat that's kind of a little bit tired right now, meaning that I've been using it for a while, so it kind of like it has to go through, and it's a little slow. It doesn't sometimes it doesn't get the answer back. Like I have to close out, which up here on the X, or I have to refresh it, which isn't a bad thing if I'm just working by myself. I do that almost all the time just to try to get because you'll see like a little flashing right under the Chat GPT 5.1 right here. You'll see where it has my models. You'll see it right under this. Obviously, this is the Chat GPT. It has automatic. You can change different modes. They got they got GPT-5 now, Pro, and they got GPT-5 Instant and GPT-5 Thinking. They got different modes now for the 5.1 gives people a chance to go to all those modes. I'm not going to go and explain it, but like Thinking one is like people that are like academics, or they're doing research papers and stuff. Because you can also, for that, you can use deep research. Company knowledge is something actually, Jesse, we need to actually do that, because it's not available to you guys if you just have the $20 one, but it's basically if you have a business plan, you put all your company information in there so it remembers it. Agent mode. Now you guys all who have the $20 a month plan, you can go into agent mode. That's you get 40 of them a month, and that means you can send out 40 different assignments. So you could actually put in one of these prompts to go out there and search your AHJs, your authority having jurisdiction, your counties, your sheriffs, your probate courts, and all that. And you can have it go and search those public records like every day, 365 days a year. So it means if there's a foreclosure filing today, you could get it tomorrow in your probably more like Monday. Usually takes a couple of days for it to go into their system. Keep in mind, every county, every jurisdiction is different. And you guys are, there's some like Arapahoe County, Colorado, Jefferson County. They're both faster than Denver. Believe it or not, it'll take about a week for Denver's to populate. But Jefferson County and Arapahoe County are definitely more up to speed than Denver is. I think Denver's just sheer volume of all the bullshit the city and county of Denver does. But yeah, so keep that in mind. So you guys, literally everything that RCIC is doing now, you guys can do everything, every asset class, every strategy. All the lenders are in there. Now you got TC. You can determine occupancy. Like I said, you can go to Columbus. And I put all these documents in files tab, so you guys can go and pull these PDFs, and you can get the prompts and put the prompts in there. And if you need them, I can just send them over to you. And actually, if you guys give me like a couple of days and just say I'd like to get a prompt for this area, I'll get you a master prompt and put all your markets in it for you. And then you just have to enter it in yours. It doesn't help to enter it in mine. So I'll send you the PDF and you copy and paste it. Within a day or two, you'll be like, especially anywhere you guys are at, you guys will start getting all the courts and all the county clerks and sheriffs and public trustees and tax assessors. So you can get tax liens, you can get foreclosures, pre-foreclosure, probate. You can get a lot of stuff that's like normally like code enforcement issues, nuisance properties. You can get it all. and now it just comes to you. You don't need nobody needs a seller. Nobody needs a wholesaler anymore. Nobody needs a deal machine or propster. It literally and it skip traces. You actually get the information directly in the. Let me see if I can pull one up. I'll pull one up and have it. See if I can have it read it. So this is all the stuff I built for you guys today. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find the Ned just so I can show it to you guys. I'll just pull this one up and ask it to read it. Cool. Let it think for a second. That's what I was telling you guys with that. Now it's thinking. It stopped thinking. Here's another thing when you guys see it. So it says reading documents. When it starts going through like 50 or 60 like jurisdictions, you'll see all the jurisdictions' websites. So Bill, if you're like on it, you'll see Mason County, you'll see the Colorado Judicial Branch, because it's looking at the courts for probate courts and evictions. You'll see like 30 or 40 of these flash. You'll see Zillow, you'll see Redfin, you'll see Realtor, you'll even see Agents Gather now. I literally will actually, because I do put a lot of stuff with Danny still, you'll see Agents Gather. So right where it says reading documents, you'll see all the sources of what it's searching, which is awesome. And you can get it all on the screen. You can do comps. This property that I found in Aurora, which I think I'm working on, that this Ned has, I was able to pull all the comps in that area. And it's around Blackstone Country Club in Aurora, Colorado. And it's a very nice community. And I found a pretty nice deal right now with about a little under $300,000 in equity. Now I can't tell right now because I haven't done a deep dive on it. I don't know if there's any HELOCs or seconds or anything that would reduce that equity. But compared to what it's worth, what the property's worth ARV wise, and it's a nice house that probably doesn't need. It probably just needs cosmetic cleaning and maybe a little touch up. It doesn't need much rehab. I'm going to say this is one of those two cases you could probably put $25,000 in. You're still probably going to make 200,000 if there's some HELOCs or anything. It is. It's a pretty good deal on a flip. It's reading documents. So let me try to see if I can speed this up. Normally that means I have to like almost get out of it and come back. But let me see if I can. So I'll do this one real quick. I'll get out of it and then I'll come back into it. Give me 1 second to do that. So I have to go and do something real quick with the view. Exit full screen. And now I can pull it back up again. And now I gotta go to complete. You guys back up. See if you guys are able to see that or not. I can't see it. I should be able to come right back into you guys. There you guys are. Sorry, I had to do that. It's kind of sucks, but that's how
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Stuck on a call.
Oh. Yeah,
Hey, Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing all right.
Cool. And Nate, I got questions. I got, a good chunk the way into this, but then I got stuck with some of the, I guess, commands that I need to type in next. So
okay.
if when you're done, I'd love to pick your brain on a few things.
Okay, yeah, it's probably a lot of people just get, to a point where it's like, I don't know, it hits something or something like that. What part did you get to? Just so,
Well, I think, well, I got to my buy box and then I couldn't really run any other commands. I think I was entering the command wrong. So that's what I was getting stuck on because I was trying to do the RCIC underscore market underscore
yeah,
scout.
yeah, and let me try to troubleshoot that for you. If you've got a way to like
Well, I
to
don't want to interrupt what you were doing,
okay,
but
yeah, I mean I can get that through to you. And I got so because I've actually built something in the last week since you onboarded that
okay.
actually blows markets up even more.
Okay. Yeah, because I've got a bunch of stuff. And I know you sent me that little starter pack for kind of Northern California, which was good. But then I wasn't sure about a bunch of the other stuff like distress signals, workflow, just
Yeah, there's some that
so
are like
much.
a
It's
little more
like
advanced. Yeah. The one
I
I
want to
built
start.
that I was just talking about, where I'm actually showing right now, what I'm working on right now is trying to see if it gets down here. Um, it's pretty cool. I've actually
So,
gonna try to get to it
so
real
you've
quick.
mentioned Airtable as your database. Is that right?
And I haven't installed. I have it, but I haven't
Or do you
finished
do
it.
it on a spreadsheet right now?
I'm doing it on a. I've been using Google Docs, and then I
Okay.
have, and then or Forms, and it will help you. You can ask it once you're on board. You can ask it to help you build it, and it'll actually help you organize it. Like it tells you where to go on it. You just basically have both windows open. You go back and forth. It'll literally take me 10 minutes to build a form that probably would have taken me an hour before. And then you should connect your Dropbox to it. If you have the free version of Dropbox, it's worth it. And then tell it you have Dropbox and you want to, what you really want to do is save things to PDFs and Words, and then it'll help you actually organize your files and folders on Dropbox pretty quick. I
Oh,
mean, like literally, I have 2,000 files now in my Dropbox because of this, and I have about 255 folder, files and folders. I get them kind of mixed up, but like I said, I got 250, and then I got like 2,000 files in those folders. And it actually
wow.
tells you how to set it up, and it tells you how to organize things, and it's pretty cool about that. So maybe the best thing we could do it tonight, or we could do it, if you want to like do a Zoom together or something.
Okay. Yeah. If we don't get to it, maybe we can do it tomorrow. We've got a few minutes.
Yeah, that works because then I can go through and see. Because what I like to do is see where anybody ever gets like hung up on something, get a
Yeah.
screenshot of it, troubleshoot it, and then I've got it for somebody else. Because that's how, like when Willie's on right now, he probably could tell you when we first onboarded this, he was the first person really to onboard after me. And I think it took us 3 or 4 days to do it, to go through troubleshoot. Now it's pretty quick. So I know exactly what everybody's, a lot of people just get a glitch or just something that just like, now I've got this whole 3 mode system, which I was just talking about. But now here's what I'm showing right now, what I started working on.
What's the
So
NED stack? NED.
yeah, NED is the, notice of election demand. Normally there's three for foreclosures. There's really 3 documents. There's continuances, which is just, self-explanatory. It's the process is being continued. Maybe they're trying to cure it, and they're sending notices to the probate court or whatever, not the probate court, but for the foreclosure, that they're trying to cure it. So it'll update people just like a court, like a regular court case would. That's one document. There's 3 documents. Like I'm just showing right now in Aurora, Colorado, where you guys can see this is the I can bring up these are those little like kind of like those on ramps, off ramps I told you about, where you can click on these and it'll take you. There's one that it would click on and show me this is the Arapahoe County, Colorado. I would click on it, it would take me right to actually where I could download these PDFs. Like literally, when I got the link, I literally had the PDF, so it was back on RSync within about a minute. That's how long it took me to go get them, and I was able to enter them. So you see this property. These are 18 new NEDs filed in Arapahoe County, Colorado, from November 5th to the 11th. So they got FHA, CHFA is a Colorado agency, housing agency, and it's got the address and stuff. And it's giving, there's a couple of them, Jewel Avenue. It gives, there's 18 of them. So it only has a few of them here. But this one on Country Club Parkway is a pretty nice one. There's almost $300,000 in equity in this house. And then you got it, so it breaks down these addresses, and you can pull up the actual election of the man. I put these for all these properties. 2 or 3 of these properties are actually in files tabs. So if you guys want to go look at them on your own, because I don't think these will pull up like where you guys can really get a good look at them on here. You can when it's your screen, but when I share a screen, I don't think you guys can see it. But I did actually put these into the files tab. Like here's a HELOC foreclosure at Ensenada Way. And here's a VA loan on Long Drive. This is probably a condo. So you pull up these documents and these are the court documents. So when you guys get these NEDs off of a county website, whatever county or jurisdiction you're in, you get the actual filing. You don't have to skip trace it because you're getting everybody. You're getting all their information. Now, what RCIC and because of GPT, OpenAI will not put personal information on the screen, but it still, you guys are pulling the actual filing.
You can pull a PDF with all the details, right?
Yeah, they just won't put it on the screen because they're trying to, But you pull it up with these notices, and like I said, I'm not going to hit one of these notices. You guys can see the ones I downloaded in the files tab.
In Colorado, you have NEDs and NODs.
You got NEDs and you got FEDs for evictions, and you got different terminology. You'll see probably a few of the terms in here. I'm going to go through them kind of, like I said, I downloaded these and they're in the files tab, so you guys can look at them. And I've looked, a lot of the places are similar. They probably use different, similar, platforms or
where are they for us to look at?
You can look at them in the files tab in the Facebook group, the Private Money Associates compound.
Okay.
And then I got the RCIC one. There's 2, and I haven't really loaded up the RCIC one, but the Private Money Associates compound is the files tab is where you guys want to go, and you can pull up a lot of these because I've been putting in there as examples. Like I said, for example, like I said, here's 18 of them in Arapahoe County. There's 6,000 plus in Columbus, Ohio, pre-foreclosures. There's so many you can't even so if you set your buy box and you put all your details in it, then you get these 6,000 out of like Columbus, and your buy box that you put in your AI will actually then pull out of that 6,000 the ones that actually meet your requirements that you're looking for. So that's how you parse them. That's how you pare them down. There's no way, no reason to pull 6,000 of them. You're never going to go through them.
Right.
The AI will do it in minutes and bring you, the properties that meet out of the 6,000. I'm sure everybody would find, like, if they were doing Columbus, Ohio, people could do a virtual wholesaling or virtual, whatever out of there. It's awesome. And a lot of these, it gives you the strategy. And so here you got another property, and I might try to bring one up, but like I said, they're all saved in the files tab. There's an FHA with the Colorado organization, HELOC and VA. It's like they've got all of them. The VA properties, they got all these 18 of them. Like I said, that is like in the files tab. So this is last week's notice of election demand run for Arapahoe County from the 5th through the 11th. You got 18 new foreclosures starting in one county in 1 week. So think about this. You guys can go and, people can start working on them right now, get the contact information. So like I said, it has the spread. There's FHA and CHFA stuff, entry-level homeowners in Aurora and Centennial, Colorado. Centennial, coincidentally, was the newest city in Colorado. It's about 20 years now, though. But conventional single-family home in Piney Creek, in Copperleaf and High Plains. These are 3, obviously, subdivisions. There's a HELOC foreclosure, a VA loan, and a commercial note, and a private seller finance deal. They're all in foreclosure, pre-foreclosure. So it doesn't treat us as a list. It's 18 separate cases, each with a strategy type, a likely tenancy occupancy profile, and it has a transaction path for a TC to run. So you can pick one. So you can go down here and look at all these. These are all on there. 6690 South Sheridan Boulevard. That's way down south in Arapahoe County. You got East Evans Avenue, which is a pretty nice area. But there's just some really good ones.
I'm looking at your buy box spreadsheet.
Yeah.
I asked you a question about that because you got some interesting stuff in here.
Yeah.
So I like the minimum bed, maximum beds, right? That's kind of standard, maximum square footage, right? Minimum, but then you've got like cap rate, you've got minimum cash on cash, you got a hold period and maximum rehab. how does it know what the rehab's going to be, and
Well,
maximum days on market?
well, you can find them, you put in what you're looking for. So if you're looking for, you want to find something that doesn't have like, you can tell it how many days of markets you're looking for. And you can tell it like what kind of rehab you like to do. If you're looking for homes that you just want to get in and out of, you don't want to do a lot of rehab, you can put in there light rehab, medium rehab, heavy rehab.
But
Or if
how's
you
it
want
going
to
to know? I guess.
yes. And then it can help you with the rehab because you can actually pull all the pictures. It'll give you take you to realtor and all. You don't want to use realtor and Zillow and all those for the financial stuff because it's never right, but it's going to have pictures on there. And so you guys can save all the pictures to a regular file, and you can use this to actually go in here and add all the pictures, as many as you got, 30 or 40 pictures. If there's a video or anything, add it to there. You can add a video too, and then you can ask it to start going and help you plan rehab, and you can start planning what the pricing is going to be.
Very
you can
cool.
ask, yeah, you can ask it to check HomeWise, which is
Okay.
home WYSE. You just put it in there. And you're putting these numbers in there, like what kind of cap rate you're looking for. In particular, if you're looking on multifamily, I know cap rate's not something that comes into play on flips, but cash on cash and all that, if you're starting to look at like doing multifamily and stuff like that, it's in there for that reason. Keep in mind that we're doing this is able to do every asset class and every strategy. And if you're doing subject to or seller carry or cash so it's pretty involved, and you can modify it yourself. People don't need me to modify it. I will do it if it's like a bigger thing, like today when I put tenancy and occupancy in there, and when I built the TC stuff. But generally, once you guys have played around with it, it really takes about 30 days, probably under 30 days if you're on as much as like I am, or a little bit, somewhere between what somebody's very barely on it or something, or like me, somewhere in the middle. Like right now, since you just did it on Saturday, Bill, I'd say probably by Christmas you should be fully predictive, meaning it's actually once you got all these your buy box, your markets, and you got the agents deployed. Like I said, and the agents are down here in the plus. When you have your agents deployed, you get 40 of them. You can actually go out and tell each agent what to do if you want to have them do a specific task. Do you want one agent to go out and check this market or this zip code or whatever? Be specific, or do you want it to check your whole market? If you're like in Northern California, where you are, you can ask it to check, as many zip codes as you want, and set that as a task. Another one can be determining comps. So after it goes and finds those properties, then it can go and get the NEDs or the feds if it's eviction, and then you can actually have it start determining comps. I'm able to pull comps for all these units you see now on the screen. I was able to pull like literally ask for like the last 20 over the last year, and it gave me like all the you'd see like 4-bedroom, 4-bath, 4-bedroom, 3 baths. So you can sit there and pick and choose which ones you want to run comps on.
And do you put like, are you able to put parameters around comps? Like
you
got to be
can
within a mile or
you want to be specific. Do you want to, and if you want to set that as a permanent, like, and it's not permanent because you can change it right now. If you had something you decide you want to do with something different, that's what I'm talking about. Like extract, what's the term, like contraction and expansion. You can contract and expand as you want. So I tell people to think about having 2 falls, like for cooking or for like changing oil. Put the 2 big ends together, and then you have the smaller tip at the top and the smaller one at the bottom, so that you put in 3 or 4 or 5 zip codes, 10 zip codes. Don't put in a lot. Put in those markets, put in your buy box, but put those in there. Then put a piece of tape around them to hold them together, and then you sit there and churn the markets that are working, come out the bottom. So let's say you put in 10 zip codes, but maybe only 5 or 6 are really productive for you. They come out the bottom of that funnel, and that's the ones that are like, it don't have a funnel, but that's kind of the concept. Put in what starts to work, expand and contract as you want. You can do the same thing on your asset class. And when people are talking about whether they want to flip or whether they want to do multifamily, they want to do RV parks. When people change over, they can just change over on a dime. They don't have to wait for me, even they can do it themselves. This is becoming unlimited. Most of what I've seen, like I'm following I get so much in my algorithm. I'm starting to see people that are like talking about AI, and I go, "What are they doing with AI?" They may not even be using OpenAI. They may be using Anthropic or, one of the other AI stuff. Most of them are still only doing like one or two things. They might be doing lead generation. They might be doing something else. This is the only one that I think that is unlimited. You guys have an advantage because I literally have all that stuff you guys have seen in Files tab, plus stuff you guys probably have never even seen. I literally pumped in a lot of stuff that's I mean, it's pretty incredible. Let's see if if I can access my desktop real quick. I can show you guys some stuff I've done. Well, I can show you my library, but so this is stuff I've actually done in my desktop. You guys can see like the broker presentation. I used to Jesse knows that one because I've probably done it about 20 times when he's been on over the years. Capital confidence pyramid, all these little black books, these are all parts of them. I get the final format, these are little ebooks I built. You guys can see them on the Patreon. If you guys go to the Patreon, there's a lot of these books out in there. So I wrote these, they're anywhere from 5 to like 20 pages for an ebook. I mean, for a like a white paper. And then I got the ebooks that are usually like 20 pages to like almost 50 of different things like capital clarity. I've got like creative closer. I've got all these I've put in there. You get legacy living for residential assisted living. I've got the lender lists in there, all the stuff that you guys have in there, logic lending. We got the mastering 1031 exchange. So it's in RCIC already. So I put all this stuff in there physically. All these part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. These all go back to 2019, 18. These are all my training manuals when I took the private money broker class through Kogo. So there's that's all my books and stuff, and I put all their information, sample books, a lot of resource. There's probably in those books there's probably 50 HUDs and appraisal forms and all that I put in there. And you guys get in the deal calculators, the multifamily one, the deal calculators, scope of work, all the analyzers, the flip factor. You got sustainable cash flow for rental properties. There's all kinds of different stuff in here that I put the flip factor, syndication compliance, fundable deal. What's a fundable deal? The private money playbook. This is all stuff I've inputted that you guys have access to because it's in RCIC now. I'll show you guys in art
and could we upload something if we had some other stuff as well?
Yeah, you can update it to yours if you want.
Yeah.
If you want to update it for everybody, then send it. Then get it to me. But if you want to update it for yours, you can do that as well. I'm trying to get back to it now. So there's all my stuff on there. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it gets pretty cool back to the. So let's see if I go to the library. The library is everything I'm working on in with AI.
So you're gonna send me the link to this, and then I get to chat GPT 5, and when I get that and I click on this link, all of this stuff will show up.
Yeah, you'll actually get step 2. Step 1 is getting GPT through OpenAI. Step 2 is the Bitly link. And there's a Bitly link. Bill just did it on Saturday. You enter the Bitly link into the prompt bar because you'll get the prompt bar after it comes on. It says you got model 5.1. It's under my bar. Unfortunately, this is my Zoom bar. It covers over it. Where I'm pointing, where you see the close the sidebar. This doesn't have the model number. Unfortunately, like I said, this is the Zoom bar, so I can't. It covers it up. You would actually see it different when you see the whole thing. This is all the stuff you guys see. Well, you guys see me posting this stuff. But
yeah, you'll go through and then like set up your buy box, like Nate will tell you.
Yeah, there's a 10-step process. It probably takes an hour. It should, but really about a half an hour. Really, most of the time you're going to spend on it setting up your buy box, and you can make it very specific. And like I said, if you need help, because some people get held up in a certain step, like I know, for some reason, and so I try to help people troubleshoot it. I can't see your screen unless you share it with me, just like I'm sharing my screen with you guys tonight, which is good. It's
Nate, you know that I get hung up at just turning on the damn computer. So
dude, I'll try to help you. Maybe we'll get everybody together. Everybody can kind of be on their, whatever, watch it on their phone, but have their laptop up on or something. We can, like I said, I got you. I mean, I don't think I'm like everybody in our group is really good. I haven't found anybody yet that I don't think can get this done in a lot of people just get held up on a minor thing that's in the onboarding process. And sometimes it's, I don't know. The biggest thing is you guys, and I'll show it after I get on this. I'm just trying to find trying to show you guys what the cockpit kind of supposed to kind of look like. This is all the stuff I've there's a lot of cool stuff. I'll just post that and find it because there's one that kind of shows what a cockpit kind of looks like. Actually, I might get close. Oh yeah, I'm actually close to it right now. So I'll go ahead and try to pull that up. So you got like this. It's kind of cool. So you get the command suite, and all the licenses. This is everything. I totally give everyone permission to use anything that I've built. Make your own. After you get comfortable with it over 2 or 3 months, you can actually do your own GPT and build it around your business and everything you do. I'm just trying to find because it kind of looks different for everybody. It pulls up. So this is kind of like tells you guys about the signals. I mean, I've built a lot of this stuff so to do more advanced training when people want to do it, they can actually go in there and learn how like all the command stuff is put together or not. But I built it all so anybody can just make a decision on themselves. Oh yeah, here it is. So it's not going to be quite this colorful, but when you guys get, there's a PDF for the cockpits, and I'll make sure everybody has it. Just if you haven't got it or you can't find it, it's in the files tab like everything else, but that's kind of convoluted. So to make sure everybody who gets RCIC is there's an RCIC specific Facebook group that's private. There's only like 25 people in it, but I've only put maybe 10 or 12. Unlike you guys see the files tab where there's like 300 things I've put in there back to 2020. So this is what a cockpit will look like, and you guys can set it up. You set up yourself. So when you get to that step, you can ask, it'll ask you to set up a cockpit, your CRM, and your vault. Your vault's going to be like at least Dropbox. You can do Google Docs, but you should get airtable.com, and it's free. There's a free version, there's a paid version. I doubt anybody, maybe Willie and a few people that are doing a lot of capital connecting and brokering and have a lot of clients may have to use the paid version, but you guys can go and like watch a YouTube video or even just somebody can do it for you on Fiverr for like $100 and build it for you. And it becomes a fully automated system. I'm going to have one for the whole system, but that's like, I can't build. If I build them for people in the group, I'd have to take the paid plan. And like a lot of people are like, why don't you host a lot of this stuff? I said, I could see spending $2,000 or $3,000 a month to support it. When you guys get this downloaded, I'm telling people this is a big selling point. When people are buying it right now, because for people that are coming fresh from the street that aren't in the associates group, I was doing the $3.99 like you guys all paid to join, but I've raised the price to $6.99, and I'm actually going to slowly do incremental increases. I tell people now, once they have this, literally it's $20 a month GPT. Other than people who have their phones or their websites or minor other things, people can run their whole business, all this for $20 a month. It's just the GPT subscription. That's how incredible it is. I mean, I'm finding this is better and better as everything that I'm doing now is better than a month ago. And I'm working the same stuff, but it's getting better and better, more intelligent for me. So that's
what's crazy, man.
Yeah.
These this LLMs are only going to get smarter.
Oh yeah, dude.
They're as dumb as they're ever going to be. And
so
they're pretty amazing.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to get better when Stargate, so I'm going to come online. So this is new. Hasn't seen it yet. This is the prompt assistant. So once you put that in step 2, you've got GPT through OpenAI. Step 2 is the Bitly link. Once you put it in, it'll activate this. And it tells you.
All right. So now where do I go right now if I wanted to jump back in?
I don't know where did you go to start here? Because see, when I do this, it doesn't do anything for me.
Well, if I go to Chat GPT and then
you put the
RCIC prompt assistant. Okay, I'm there. I'm at that screen. It says start here, but
yeah.
But I already did some of this. So how do I kind of pick up where I left off?
Probably screenshot when it stopped. Here you go. You've already been through this, right?
Yeah. What did you type there to do that?
I just typed to start here.
Oh, okay. Start here.
And now there's a little change because that you might want to do that start here again because I added this change today. You got resident mode, operator mode, and TC mode. Now I have a PDF in that over that. I just covered some of that. So that has changed a little bit. And then it even tells you in step 2 prompt bar. So everybody that is worried about like, hey, how sophisticated it is, this should give you the how to talk to me. So it treats the chat like your RCIC prompt bar. This is where your draft scripts, emails, and texts build your refine your buy box, run your deal scenarios, ask for checklists. It turns into raw information. So when you get there and you can change it, you guys, I mean, get that PDF, you can switch and you can go back. If you get into like one of these modes by accident, you just switch back to default, and it goes right back to should go right back to where you guys are going. Want to be. So this is all changed just today, and it's better. So anybody, I have to tell anybody, just kind of make sure that it should update. Everybody should, it should be updated for everybody.
Well, it's asking me to lock in my buy box now, but I already did that. So how do I like pull that back up?
This is incredible. I haven't seen this much detail. Okay, and I'll build it. If you want me to move fast, reply with something like, I'm in, what mode you want to be in. So we go back up to the modes. And you want to be, well, I'll jump down. And I'll make a PDF of this real quick. And I'll send it to you guys as well. So this is going to make a PDF, and I can send this to everybody. This should actually help you.
I don't know if I saved my buy box before when I went through all this, because I spent a bunch of time on it. Where that would be.
I don't. That's what I'm trying to say. I need to see where. I actually need to see what. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to download it.
Chats.
Yeah, I'm trying to see where would you be at? Because like I said, this has now changed a little bit.
Oh, here it is. California distressed buy box. Okay.
So here you can save, like I'm saving it to PDFs. So I'll have this. I'll send it to all you guys afterwards. So when you're in resident mode, now with resident mode, you're in market signals, you're zoning workflows, buy box logic, acquisition. But if you're in operator mode, and like I said, you can go back and ask if you get stuck in one mode, just ask them to go back to default. Operator is multi-market workflows, your capital flows, portfolio intelligence, team coordination. That's going to be more like higher end, a lot of acquisitions and stuff. So you're pretty much going to be in resident mode unless you're a transaction coordinator. And I'm going to put in lender mode, and then we'll have those 4 modes. So that'd be good. But when you get down here, like I said, I'll send this to you because this may actually help you a lot. You'll be able to do a lot of it yourself because this is really just incredible what it's put out today. It's got all your tier restrictions and the training and all that stuff. So you want to embed your buy box. That's what I said. Go in and this will have changed. So I mean, I'll give you the PDF. You can actually just scan in the PDF and then just like do it with your mouse, put it in the prompt bar, and it'll pull that up for you. And you can actually then go in and do your buy box. And you've already done it, so it should save it.
Yeah, I found it. I found it in a prior. So okay. I'm opening a new tab with the prompt assistant in one tab, and then my buy box in the other, and then I'm just gonna copy and paste.
Yeah, and then you put your markets in. Make sure you put in county and zip code. That goes for everybody. Always put your county and your zip code in. Those are the 2 most important things for markets. And then you can do tools. And you just ask it for tools, and there's a couple hundred, and tell them what you're doing, and say, I need a toolbox for this. That's going to give you like, daisy chain detector, tell it what you do, and it's going to give you tools, and then you can deploy your agents, and that's that next step, and that's where you come down to the edit photos and files. You can add in deploy your agents. Then you go out in those same markets, go out and find, use my buy box. And go into these markets and find me bring me the AHJ, the NEDs, all the distress signal properties in these zip codes of what you're looking for. It'll bring them back. It'll start taking to your inbox. After that, then you got and if you need it, it's in the onboarding but I have a separate PDF as well for doing the CRM, the cockpit, and the vault. It tells you how to set up the vault and everything. I can get you that one too. I'm trying to make one big onboarding. Eventually, I'm probably going to make it next week while we're down for Thanksgiving for a few days. I'll probably try to build one big onboarding that covers everything, because right now it's a little fragmented, just because it's just the way things are going. It's not that it's anything's like issues. It's the fact that this thing's getting so much better and we're able to add it. It's totally different than a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 months ago. It's going to be different in December and January. So the important thing is, getting in these modes and like asking it to update. You guys can ask it to update. I'm doing updates now every day too on it. I'm actually going in and asking it to put in to update, because when I go through it, through Explore, I'll show you guys a couple of things I haven't really showed you, because it's like you go up to GPTs. Obviously, you guys can go through it. It gives you a lot of different that people have built. But I go to my GPTs right up here, which is here, and you guys see this is where I actually work on it. So this is actually where I've got and I'm gonna put another GPT together for home base. This black RCIC prompt assistant is pretty much, it's what I started, and then I learned how to do it, so it's the red one. So I'm gonna build another one for home base, but I'm gonna build onto this one. So that's kind of where you guys see me. And now when I go in here, like this morning, I added this in developer mode, which you guys don't have unless you have the business plan, but I have developer mode, so I can go through and it really just it puts everything into what you guys have access to. And I'm finding that out too a lot different than what I was doing a couple weeks ago. I mean, I'm literally learning stuff now, like every day, like you guys are. But I mean, obviously, been at it for a while, so I'm further ahead. But you guys will pick up once you guys have it and start working with it. Because like you guys see, it gives you this. I'm going to give you guys this in PDF right after we're done. So go through and look at this and see if there's anything in here you want to add into yours when you work on it. It's pretty simple. And so anybody who doesn't really, worries about it, there's no coding. Everything's done through the prompt assistant, through the bar. And you can dictate to it. You can put on your microphone. It's pretty simple to do. I mean, so you got your, like I said, your simple deal analysis, your buy box. You can do all your checklists. You got your multi-exit analysis, market comparisons, capital mapping, when you're an operator in training. So you can start training yourself to do a lot bigger stuff like portfolios and, syndications and raising capital and all that. It will train you how to do it. I'm telling everybody out there, it's like nobody needs a mentor or a guru anymore. They can just get this and train on everything. You win if you want to go, hey, I want to learn how to do RV parks. It'll actually walk you through RV parks and how to analyze them, how to find them and everything. You can set your buy box and your markets for anything. You can go out there and tell it to go find Subway sandwich shops. And if you want to buy like 20 Subways, it'll go out there and look through all the, almost all those, anything that's a public record. The only thing it can't really do is go through paywalls. And it can't, and sometimes if you go to like a jurisdiction, they may ask you to do the capture, or they may ask you to register, just put your name and email and stuff in there. And then it usually gives you the option if you want to get email updates and text message updates. So that way you have those come from the county. It's just what you do is just save it. It's pretty cool. Like I said, look at those NEDs that I posted in the Facebook group. I can send you guys those as well when I send you this PDF tonight. So I think we're pretty much wrapped up for tonight. It's a lot of information. I'll send you guys a PDF, and then, like I said, Bill, if you still need some help, let me know, and we can do it one-on-one.
Okay, cool.
Bill Johnson,
I'll try to ping you tomorrow if possible.
Yeah, no, it'll work out. But I have time this weekend, Saturday, and I pretty much all day Sunday because the Broncos don't play this week.
All right, cool.
Yeah, let me do that, and then Bill Johnson.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Let me know. Yeah. So, like I said, the thing about it is this is just getting more and more. It's actually getting stronger, faster, and more intelligent. So
it's
because I've been training it. So
I'm beyond excited. It's crazy.
No, it's awesome. This is incredible. All right,
All
guys.
right, man.
Appreciate your time tonight.
All right. I'll ping you tomorrow.
Yeah, let me know. I'll be around. I can.
All right, thanks.
Cool. Talk to
See
you
you,
guys
Nate.
later.